These are the ingredients for the Lemon Supreme Bundt Cake. Hello everyone, and thank you for stopping by the channel today. Diane's Decorating and More. Today I will be sharing with you how I make my Lemon Supreme Pound Cake. Okay, so to all of you who are out there supporting me and subscribing to the channel and leaving your comments, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, so without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. I have already taken a shot of everything that goes in this particular pound cake. Everything is at room temperature. That is your eggs, that is your butter, that is your sour cream, and that is your milk. Okay, so all of that is ready and we're ready to get started. Okay, we already have our 2 sticks of butter that is already in our mixer here, and we're going to be adding our 3rd stick of butter in there. This cake calls for 3 sticks of butter. Okay, we got that out of the way. And this particular cake is a very delicate cake, and it's very delicious. So those who have made it before have shared their opinions about the cake, and it is very tasty to them. So that's a good thing. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to allow the butter to whip to a silky consistency, which takes about 5 minutes. Okay, and then we're going to come back and I'll show you exactly what that looks like. All right. All right, so now I'm going to take a look at it. I've already scraped down the sides and restarted it, so everything is already beat to its consistency. All right, so I'll show you guys that. All right, the light gives it some justice there. Okay, all right, that's what you're looking for. All right, so now you've done that. Lock this down real good. Okay, we're gonna scrape all of this off here. All right. Get all of that out. Off the sides. Okay. All right. Okay. Now we're going to add in our sugar. Okay. And again, that's going to be your 3 cups of sugar. Okay. And for this particular cake, I've added 3 and yeah, exactly 3 cups of sugar. So I want to get that mixed up with the flour, because the flour is going to be a little bit different, and all of that is going to be in the comment section of the video, so you'll know exactly how much flour to put in there. Okay, so pay attention to that part of it. All right, this particular lemon cake here requires a little more flour. Okay? So when I get to that point, I'll make sure and repeat that for you guys, okay? All right. So now we're going to let this whip just for a few minutes to get it incorporated really well, okay? And I'll show you the consistency of that as well. Okay, so that's gonna whip your butter and your sugar, okay? That's going to whip for another 7 minutes, okay? Because we're trying to do at least 12 minutes total, okay? Okay, all right. So now that has beaten for that length of time, and it has whipped to the fluffy consistency that we want it to. Okay, so now I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like as well. Okay, all right. Okay, so now we're ready to add in our eggs, okay, one at a time. All right, break down the sides here, get all of that off the sides. Okay, that off there. All right, so now we're ready to add our eggs in, one at a time. And the eggs, it takes a total of 5 eggs for this particular cake as well, okay? So I'm going to show you the time between the adding of the egg, the first egg and the second egg, and then I'll just skip to the end part because it's, you know, I don't want to burn too much time up with the eggs in the process in terms of that, because I think you can understand the process of the timing for the eggs, okay, and adding in between the eggs. All right. You just want to add your eggs in until it's, you know, incorporated into the butter and the sugar, okay? So it's well incorporated. Okay, we're going to stop it and scrape down the sides. Make sure that we have everything incorporated, okay? That is very, very important for this particular cake. You want it to come out as fluffy as possible. So it has to be well mixed, okay? I'm just pulling up to the top from the bottom. Sometimes some machines can't go all the way down to the bottom, and I just want to make sure that we get everything mixed well into the sugar and the butter. All right, so we're going to give that a couple more spins. can see, it is very thick. So that's what we want, that fluffy thickness, okay? All right. So now what we're getting ready to do, we're going to go ahead and add in our dry ingredients, okay? And in the dry ingredients, I've already added in, which is our flour. It's been sifted with our baking powder and our salt, okay? And also I noticed, you may have noticed that I put in the picture that has the ingredients for this particular cake, the pudding. I'm using lemon pudding in this mix, okay? So I want to make sure I say that, okay? All right. And we also have our 1 cup of milk, okay? In the milk, I've also added the 3 different flavors, okay, that we're using in this particular cake, okay? And that's lemon, okay? Also, we're going to be using the vanilla butter as well, okay? So those are the 3 flavors that we're going to be using in this cake, and it's already been added into the milk, okay? We're gonna give that a quick little stir to make sure we have everything well incorporated into the milk. Okay. Doing it kind of slow so we don't make any spillage or anything like that, all right? And you always start with your dry ingredients, which is your flour. We just want to make sure that we get all of the milk out of the glass as much as possible there. It does include your flavoring, so we want to leave any of that behind. Okay? Alright. It's coming together really good. So we're going to put our last bit of flour in there. Stop and scrape down the sides. Let's make sure all of that's included in the mix here. We have some of the lemon juice, fresh squeezed lemon juice. We're going to pour that in there as well. Just a little. is it. Okay, so now we're at the point where it has already mixed and everything looks great. So we're now going to pour our batter into our prepared pan. If you saw the previous video when I first purchased the golden edition of this particular pan of Nordic ware, okay, so this is my first time using this. So I have prepared it thoroughly, okay, and I have placed oil inside, and I've also sprayed it, and I also did the 1 tablespoon of sugar and 1 tablespoon of flour, and then reinforced it that way too, because I wanted to make sure, since it's my first time using it, everything pops out as it should. Okay, so we're gonna get a chance to see, and you're gonna get a chance to see exactly how this turns out. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. That's what that looks like. Okay. All right. So now we're ready to get that poured in here. Hopefully you can see that. It is relatively thick, but that is expected because of the batter itself and the ingredients. Okay. I can smell that lemon. This is going to taste delicious. Absolutely delicious. And you're just trying to get it as even in there as possible. Okay, so now we're just going to spread it around in here like that. Okay, like that. Okay, spread it around. All right. Try to get it in there, and then just go back to the center. Just loosen it away from the center a little bit, just a little, like that. Okay. All right. So that looks good enough for me. All right. And then we're going to just kind of bounce it a little bit. That's my dog. She's very sensitive to sound. Okay. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna pop this in the oven for an hour and 15 minutes, and we're gonna check it at that point to see if there's any additional time that is needed. Okay. And it's gonna be baking at 325 in my gas oven. Okay. And then we'll come back and I'll show you exactly what it looks like. Okay, now we're back, and what we're going to be doing right now while our cake is in the oven baking, we're going to go ahead and mix together our icing for the cake. Okay. All right, so in here we have 2 tablespoons of butter, 2.5 cups of powdered sugar, 1/4 cup of sour cream. We're going to have our lemon zest, and we have some fresh squeezed lemon juice. And we're going to have the yellow coloring added to some of the icing. And I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to add that to one set of the icing to give it that lemony or yellowish color that I'm looking for, because it's going to be white icing and then it's going to be topped with a yellow icing also. Okay, so you'll get a chance to see the two-tone icings that I'm going to put on top along with the zest. Okay, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and add in our sour cream here. All of that out of there. I could have mixed this with the machine there, but I chose to do it by hand. And you can mix it, you know, with the machine or by hand as well. It's up to you. I feel comfortable either way. Okay. So we're going to put our powdered sugar in here. Let's say about half of that to start. Okay. And you just mix all the ingredients until it's well incorporated. Okay. So now that we have whipped our ice into the consistency which we wanted it to be here, and I want you to see that. Okay, that's what you're looking for right there. Okay, thick but pourable. Okay, and that's the base icing. All right. Now, in this little cup here, I have the topper icing. Okay, and we're going to add that little drop of yellow coloring that I wanted to see if I can get that top part looking like the lemony color that I'm looking for. Okay. Okay, and that's the yellow. Okay, all right, that is the yellow. Okay, and that's going to be the part that go on top of the white icing. Okay, all right. So we're going to set that to the side, and we're going to wait until our cake come out of the oven, and then we'll come back. Stay tuned. So this is what it looks like fresh out of the oven there. Okay. All right. So now we're going to let that cool, and we're going to flip it over on our cooling rack in about 10 minutes. Okay, now we have flipped it out onto the cooling rack here, and we're going to give it a little time to cool completely down before we put this icing on. Okay, but everything looks great. It really looks nice, really nice. So I'm happy with the way it looked. Okay, all right. Okay, now we are back and our cake is completely cooled off. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put our icing on. Okay, and again, we are doing the sour cream icing, okay, for this particular cake. Again, it is very, very thick, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. And as the icing kind of like loosens up on the cake, then it is going to drizzle down the sides. Okay, so I'm not too much worried about that part. And this icing is, I tested it and it tastes really, really good. So I'm pleased with that as well. And I'll make sure that all of the ingredients of this particular icing is in the video comment section for you guys, okay? So as I said before, I'm gonna have 2 different colors of icing on this particular cake. Just gonna turn it here so I can see on the back side. There we go, add a little bit more on this one. There we go. Okay. There. Okay. Good. And I'll go back and clean up all of the excess off the edges of the plate a little later. I'm not sure if I shared this while I was baking it, but this cake is for one of my co-workers' birthday, and so I was happy when they asked me to make her favorite cake. Okay, it's the yellow. Okay, and the yellow I'm just gonna drizzle it crossways, the cake, just like that, just back and forth like that. No particular way that it's gonna be done. Okay, up on that one. Okay, so it's all the way around like that. So I'm not sure if the camera shows all of that. Okay, all right. And then to top it off, I have some lemon zest here. Just a little something extra there. That is it, guys. That is it. And I'm gonna let you, well, I guess I could just lift it up like this. Okay. All the way around. Again, this is your Lemon Supreme Bundt Cake. Okay. All right. Thank you for tuning into the channel today and joining me as I made this lovely cake. Okay. And again, that is the Lemon Supreme Bundt Cake. Okay, thank you for stopping by the channel. Y'all go out and have a great day. All right, see you next time.